What if I told you that a single phrase, whispered to yourself each morning, can reshape every corner of your existence? Picture this. You wake before dawn, the world still swathed in velvet darkness, and you speak words older than empires into the silent air. Your voice is soft, yet every syllable reverberates through your bones, stirring fragments of wisdom long buried beneath the noise of modern life. In that hush, you feel a spark, a quiet flare of possibility that ripples outward, touching every moment that follows. You enter the day with a pulse of intention, as if you've discovered a secret doorway inside your heart. And this isn't fantasy or wishful thinking. It's an ancient practice forged by philosophers and mystics who understood that language can be alchemy. Today we'll unlock that hidden incantation, the phrase you must speak to yourself, and only yourself, each morning. We'll trace its origins through forgotten scrolls and silent monasteries, unravel the philosophy behind its power, and reveal why so many seekers have overlooked its transformative magic. By the end of this journey, you'll not only know the words, you'll feel their force coursing through you, guiding every choice, every breath, every step. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn has been concealed for centuries, waiting for a moment just like this, your moment, to awaken. Centuries ago, in the candlelit halls of a mountain monastery, a cloaked seeker scrawled these words on brittle parchment: "I am the architect of my reality." Passed from lips to ear, in hushed tones, the phrase traveled through hidden orders, from desert hermits who traced its echoes in shifting sands, to Stoic scribes who inscribed it in their journals at the break of dawn. Yet, with the rise of empires and dogmas, its essence was buried beneath layers of orthodoxy, dismissed as mere folly. Across oceans, an order of philosophers in a sunken city chanted a variation of the same invocation beneath turquoise waves. They believed that speaking to the self, in the quiet moments before sunrise, could realign the elements within, earth, water, fire, air, into harmonious purpose. When the city was swallowed by history, its libraries sank too, and the phrase vanished into myth. Philosophers from East and West debated its meaning. The Greeks saw it as an exercise in logos, the power of reason to shape the cosmos, while Taoist sages recognized it as a harmony with the Tao, an invitation for life's flow, to answer one's call. In medieval alchemy, adepts whispered it as a catalyst for spiritual gold, a transmutation of the self that mirrored the turning of lead into lustrous promise. But time's currents are cruel. Rulers and skeptics alike silenced those who wielded such words with intent, fearing the freedom they could inspire. Libraries were purged, voices stilled, and the incantation became a phantom, remembered only in scattered fragments. Yet every so often, those fragments reappear. In the margin of a monk's book, a traveler's journal, a dream passed between lovers. What if you reclaim that phrase today, in the quiet, before your world awakens? What ancient force might stir within you, waiting to be called back into the light? In the next part, we will unravel the first layer of its meaning, exploring how a simple string of words can ignite the alchemy of your mind, and why so few dare to speak them aloud. I summons your entire being. In that single syllable lives every choice you've ever made, every ambition you've ever dared to hold. It points your gaze inward, reminding you that all change begins with you. When you say I, you step out of the crowd of thoughts and claim authorship of your story. Am is the eternal present, the bridge between who you were and who you will become. It dissolves past regrets and future anxieties, anchoring you in the power of now. By declaring Am, you align your identity with this very breath and heartbeat. You are not a memory or a destination. You are the living moment. Next comes the architect. Imagine a silent artisan drafting blueprints on the canvas of your mind. An architect does not merely erect walls. He envisions the flow of light, the harmony of space, and the journey from entrance to sanctuary. When you invoke this role for yourself, you recognize that your thoughts are the scaffolding, your beliefs the mortar, and your daily actions the bricks. Picture ancient master builders carving stone under torchlight, each chip deliberate, each measurement born of intention. That is the same precision you summon when you speak architect. You cease to wander aimlessly through the labyrinth of your habits, and instead draw lines of purpose, connecting one decision to the next, in service of a grand design. Of my reality completes the incantation, weaving the personal with the universal. Reality is not an external stage upon which you perform. It is the tapestry you weave with every thought, word, and gesture. By claiming my reality, you dissolve the boundary between dreamer and dream, creator and creation. You declare ownership over the shape of your days. Consider the tide. Unseen forces sculpt the shoreline, as surely as your inner convictions shape your world. When the phrase spills from your lips, you become both the wave and the bedrock. Your reality is not fixed. It is fluid, responsive to the contours of your will. But what happens when you stop at mere repetition? Many utter these words like a mantra, yet feel no shift. The secret lies not in the phrase, but in the awareness accompanying it. The words must resonate in your bones, echo through your intentions, and ripple outward into every corner of your life. In the next chapter, we will explore how to infuse this phrase with ritual and mindfulness, ensuring that each morning's whisper becomes a living engine of transformation. Prepare to learn the overlooked practices that awaken the full alchemy hidden within those 6 words. The true power awaits just beyond this veil, yet this simple incantation conceals a more profound paradox. To truly become the architect of your reality, you must first surrender your need for certainty. How can you design a masterpiece if you cling to every brick? Ancient Taoist masters whispered that creation springs from letting go. They taught that when you release the urge to control every outcome, you invite the universe to fill the gaps you cannot see. Imagine a sculptor chipping away at marble. If she grips the chisel too tightly, the stone fractures. If she loosens her hand, the form emerges effortlessly. I am the architect of my reality demands firm intention and gentle openness, a dance between will and flow. Stoic philosophers called this balance prohairesis, the power of choice under any circumstance. Epictetus wrote that you cannot dictate the weather, but can decide how to navigate the storm. When you declare yourself the architect, you claim authority over your responses, judgments, and the architecture of your inner citadel, even as life's tempests swirl beyond your walls. But modern seekers often stumble here. They repeat the phrase in a hollow ritual, expecting instant miracles. Instead, they meet the same frustrations and anxieties. The missing link: embodiment. In the 1970s, psychologist Claude Steele's self-affirmation experiments revealed that words touch us sincerely only when we link them to our core values, our personal ground of being. The affirmation floats away without that anchor like a sparrow with clipped wings. In a hidden Himalayan monastery, novices would recite the phrase while tracing mandalas. Their fingers inscribed ancient symbols, and their voices breathed life into forgotten runes. This dual practice, a verbal proclamation paired with physical movement, lavished the subconscious with sensory memory, forging a pathway straight to the soul's canvas. Contrast this with a common misstep: chanting from memory alone, eyes glazed, mind wandering through grocery lists and social media anxieties. In that void, the words bounce off the barriers of distraction rather than carving corridors of transformation. Another layer lies in the phrase's grammar, the indefiniteness of reality. It is neither your current circumstance nor some distant utopia. It is the living tapestry woven from your perceptions, choices, and unseen beliefs. Yet most definitions of reality are borrowed from parents, peers, and the screen. The grand lesson here is to redefine reality on your own terms. Ask yourself, whose story am I living? Whose boundaries am I accepting as my walls? Philosophers from Kierkegaard to Camus argued that true freedom comes when we confront the absurd, the space between our dreams and doubts, and choose meaning anyway. By invoking, I am the architect of my reality, you stake your claim inside that space. You declare that, despite life's inherent unpredictability, you will shape your day with intention, align your habits with your highest vision, and to craft meaning where others see chaos. Yet even this understanding is only half the picture. You must embrace a hidden contradiction. The architect sometimes demolishes before building. You must be willing to dismantle old beliefs, even cherished comforts, to allow new structures to rise. Are you prepared to pick up the hammer and bring down your walls? Hold that question in your mind as we move into the next segment, where you will discover the precise rituals and mindful practices that awaken these words from mere sound into living power, transforming each morning's whisper into the heartbeat of your day. With the next inhale, bring awareness to your solar plexus, the seat of personal power. As you exhale, speak the phrase aloud, slowly, deliberately. I am the architect of my reality. Let each word drop like a stone into a silent pond, watching the concentric ripples travel through your body. Feel the vibration settle in your chest, then radiate outward to your limbs, awakening every cell. Lean forward slightly and meet your own gaze in a mirror. Look past the surface, beyond the curve of your lips, the color of your eyes, to the spark of life behind them. Repeat the phrase again, softer this time, as if sharing a secret. Notice how the tone shifts when your eyes lock onto your own reflection. This is no empty mantra. It is a covenant between who you were yesterday and who you will become today. Next, reach for a pen and an empty page of your journal. Write the phrase 3 times, each repetition in a different hand. Bold and firm, flowing and cursive, then small and precise. With each script, infuse your intention. Imagine drawing the blueprints of a grand cathedral that is your life, each stroke a beam, each letter a pillar. As the ink settles into the fibers, so does the promise of transformation in your subconscious. Carry this energy into your morning routine. When you brush your teeth, whisper the phrase under your breath. As you lace your shoes, smile inwardly and repeat it again, this time feeling it in your fingertips. These micro-rituals anchor the incantation throughout your day, tethering your external actions to your internal blueprint. Beware the trap of mechanical repetition. If your mind drifts to grocery lists or tomorrow's worries, pause. Close your eyes, return to your breath, and let the words wash through you again. Quality of presence matters more than quantity of recitations. Each authentic utterance carves a deeper channel for change. Take one more sacred moment by mid-morning, when the world's demands pull you outward. Place a hand over your heart, inhale, and murmur the phrase as a gentle vow. I am the architect of my reality. Feel the alignment of body, mind, and spirit as the day unfurls according to your design. In the final segment, we will explore how to weave this practice into relationships, careers, and unexpected crossroads, so that every interaction echoes with the same ancient power you awaken each dawn. Now that you've journeyed from the shadowed corridors of forgotten monasteries to the quiet altar of your morning ritual, you carry more than a phrase, a living spark, "I am the architect of my reality," is no longer just words on your lips. It is a vow etched into your breath, a blueprint guiding every step you take. We began by tracing its origin through dusty scrolls and Stoic traditions, uncovering how each syllable was forged in the forge of ancient wisdom. Then we peeled back its first layer. "How I am" awakens your power in the present, and delved deeper into the alchemy of surrender, discovering that creation demands intention and openness. You transformed repetition into embodiment through the ritual of vocalization, mirror gaze, and journal practice. Each intentional utterance carved a pathway into your subconscious, reweaving the tapestry of your beliefs and aligning your actions with your highest vision. These micro-rituals, whispered beside your toothbrush, breathed under the morning sun, anchor the phrase in every following moment. Remember, the architect sometimes demolishes before building. You may find old habits cracking and outdated convictions dissolving, leaving space for new structures of confidence, resilience, and purpose. This is not chaos. It is creative rebirth. As you move through relationships, work, and unexpected crossroads, let this incantation be the steady hand that sketches your path. Transformation isn't a finish line. It's the rhythm of sunrise after sunrise, a commitment to sculpting your life with clarity and courage. When self-doubt whispers, return to your breath and speak the phrase once more. When the world's noise swells, find a quiet moment and reaffirm your role as creator. As you close your eyes tonight, carry this question into your dreams. What will you dismantle tomorrow, and what will you build in its place? Share your discoveries below. Your triumphs, doubts, and first bright sparks of possibility. If this video stirred something within you, subscribe and join our community of seekers. In our next chapter, we'll explore how to infuse this wisdom into your relationships and career, so that every interaction becomes an act of creation. The architect's journey is endless and exhilarating. So rise each morning, speak your truth, and watch your life transform. What grand design will you unveil at dawn?